Hey everybody, this is Mike, and this is going to be my review of the second episode of the Sopranos entitled 46 Long. We're just going to get right into it. I thought this was a very good episode. I thought this was, in a lot of ways, like a movie. They crammed a lot in. I liked it a whole lot more than I liked the pilot. The pilot wasn't bad on its own, it's just, it felt more just like an episode of television. It was good. It didn't stand out as anything special. This episode was very special, and I dug it a lot. I just wanted to go over a few things that stood out to me on this episode and just give you my general thoughts. I don't want to kill every detail for you. So I want to talk about Lorraine Bracco, Dr. Melfi. I felt in this episode she had a lot more character and personality, and just she really stood out on this episode to me. I was a little surprised there wasn't a lot of follow up from the pilot episode with the family drama with Carmela and Meadow, and just not that that's a complaint because I thought that kind of weighed the show down a little bit. The drama with Tony and Carmela with Meadow. So I was happy to see they moved on from that. I was just surprised after establishing it in the first episode, there wasn't a lot of follow up to it. But Tony's mother was great. I remember watching. This is my second go around trying to watch this entire show, and I remember Tony's mother always stood out to me as like a very entertaining character, and she stood out a lot in this episode, particularly when in her interactions with there was a Tony had established at home care for her, and she just didn't want the girl there. Olivia's interactions there were very good, and and then there was a scene where she was like, Tony was talking about how much it meant to him that like his mother was being nice, and it gave him hope that she was driving her friends around, and then the scene ends with her accidentally running her friend over with a car. It was hilarious. Uh, the I found Uncle Junior. Uncle Junior is very relatable to me in terms of he's like that relative that's nice to your face and then talks crap about you behind your back. And there was a scene like that where Tony and Junior had to sit down with Jackie Aprile, and Junior was nice to Tony's face, and as soon as Tony was gone, he was talking crap about how he was doing the wrong things in terms of taking care of his mother. The show had a lot more Paulie, which I thought was great. I remembered on the pilot thinking I was surprised that Paulie didn't have more lines, but the Paulie lines definitely picked up. In this episode, Paulie had a lot more to do. Paulie had a good line in the opening scene. Paulie was heavily involved in the B story of Tony trying to find his son's teacher's stolen car. And I also found Paulie's outrage over Starbucks and like espresso and like other and like stolen pizza, just the stealing of the Italian culture, and them not getting anything for it. I found very entertaining. There was a sighting from. I had a Bodie sighting. Bodie was one of my favorite characters on The Wire, and he had a little scene in this week's episode, which it was great to see him. He's a very talented guy. Uh, there was a scene with Tony and Doctor Melfi where she was trying to tell him how it's not a bad thing if you know to own your anger and be mad at your mother or hate your mother, and he was all outraged. He just walked off and was just like, hate your mother. I found again like a lot of the psychiatry scenes are very relatable. Uh, there was another scene where at the end, and this is going to be a little criticism of this episode, but I thought there was a dichotomy between Tony's mother not being able to use the phone and a guy that worked for Tony at the Bada Bing, and he didn't know how to use the phone, so Tony was relating one to the other, and by the end of the episode, with this guy still not being able to use the phone and Tony feeling all this guilt about having put his mother away in a nursing home, he just wigs out and he whacks this guy over the head with the phone. And it ended. It was a good ending scene. It's just I thought the couple of the hitting of the phone was a little weak and it wasn't all that strong. Uh, there was a woman, I don't know her name, that stood out on this episode to me. That she was the one checking Olivia, Tony's mother, into the nursing home, and she just stood out. She had a lot of personality and character. That's one of the things I always liked about The Sopranos and The Wire is. And maybe Deadwood too, is that like their B characters, they don't even say anything, have a lot of personality and character just in their facial expressions and the little bit they have to say. It's always very good. Their casting is very good, and so that was basically the episode. I enjoyed it. The B story, the story of just it was all very good. Tony and Christopher and Christopher's friend Brendan and trying to rob Junior and just it all spiraling out of control was really really great stuff. I'll give this episode an 8.5 out of 10. It was a great episode. I'm looking forward to next week to see how because like I said, I've seen all this before, but you forget. So thank you for watching this. It was a little late. I've been really busy this week. I'm all over the place. I apologize. I've just started a new medication. Forgive me. And anyway, I'll be back soon. And thank you for watching this. Bye.